Welcome to Previously On, a podcast series created to help you through some of the most complex yet brilliant television ever made. Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 7, The Gift. We open at Castle Black as Jon prepares for the journey north to Hardhome, where he's to persuade the Wildling army to join the battle alongside the Night's Watch. Before he goes, Sam presents him with a bag full of dragonglass weapons. Sam, Gilly and the baby spend some time with Maester Aemon, who is taken ill, who tells them to take the baby south, whilst they still have chance. It's his last act. Maester Aemon dies and his body is burnt. His watch has ended. When alone with Theon, Sansa asks him to help her by lighting a candle in the window of the highest tower to signal she is in danger. Hesitantly he agrees, but then instead goes and tells Ramsay. Outside, Brienne and Podrick are waiting for the signal. Ramsay shows Sansa the flayed body of the old woman who told her to light the candle. She's then escorted by guards back to her chambers. However, he's unaware she managed to steal a corkscrew. Stannis' army is caught up in a violent snowstorm and has to make camp. Horses and supplies are lost to the weather, and the Stormcrows, a group of sellswords, abandon the camp. Davos suggests returning to Winterfell, but Stannis is determined, stating that retreating would see him become the king who ran. Plus, retreating means wintering at Castle Black, and this winter in Westeros could potentially last many years. Stannis asks Melisandre for reassurance of his victory. She tells him she's seen him victorious, but shockingly requests he sacrifice his daughter Shireen for the cause. Horrified, Stannis pushes her away. At the wall, Gilly is attacked by two brothers of the Night's Watch. Sam comes to her rescue but is beaten up. As Gilly tends to Sam's injuries, she climbs on top of him and they make sweet, sweet love. In Meereen, Jorah is sold by the slave traders to the wealthy Yezanzo Kagaz as a fighter ready for the fighting pits. Tyrion manages to secure his sale to Yezan by desperately battering a fellow slave with chains in a display of his fighting prowess and slight lunacy. The High Sparrow brushes aside Lady Olenna's demands that he releases her grandchildren Loras and Marjorie and dismisses her attempts to bribe him. She then escalates and threatens to remove Tyrell's support by stopping food shipments to King's Landing, but again the High Sparrow is unfazed. He points out the anger this will generate with the small folk who far outnumber the noble. As she leaves, Olenna receives a letter from Littlefinger. King Tommen is troubled by his inability to do anything to help his wife Marjorie. Cersei says she will speak to the High Sparrow on his behalf. Cut to dawn, where Myrcella tells Jaime she wants to stay and marry Trystane. Meanwhile, down in the cells, Bronn and Tyenn San trade insults. She then begins to undress in front of him before telling Bronn that her daggers which cut him during their fight were coated with a poison that activates as the heart rate increases. He begins to succumb to the poison. Tyenn shows him a vial around her neck that contains the antidote and tells him he must call her the most beautiful woman in the world. He does, and she tosses him the antidote. Back to King's Landing, where Littlefinger meets with Olenna in what remains of his brothel. She reminds him that they murdered Joffrey together, and should her house fall, she will take him with her. Daenerys is present at the fighting pits in Meereen. When this news reaches Jorah, he steps into the arena and easily beats the other fighters. He removes his helmet, revealing his true identity. Daenerys demands he be removed, but he reveals his gift to her, Tyrion, a real-life Lannister. In King's Landing, Cersei pays a visit to the High Sparrow to discuss Loras and Marjorie. However, he turns the tables and states that Lancel has had a lot to say about her. As she turns to leave, she is seized and thrown into a cell. Thanks for listening. Hope it's been helpful. Listen, if you've enjoyed this, I would love it if you subscribed. We've got loads more shows where this came from, and we'd love you to join us for them. If you know someone who needs to get up to speed with Thrones, just send them our way. A 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts from would also be absolutely fantastic. If you've got any feedback, have I pronounced a name wrong? I hope I haven't. Or ideas for a show that we should be covering? We'll almost certainly be doing the big ones, but you never know, there may be others that we've missed. Let us know. I'd love to hear from you over on Twitter. You can find us at Previous Podcast, or just email us hello@previouslyon.co.uk. Previously On is presented by Jamie East and is a Daft Doris production.